SpaceX, the rocket company founded by Elon Musk, has been making headlines lately for its ambitious plans to send humans to Mars. But how bad is SpaceX for the environment? It's a question that's been asked a lot lately. On the one hand, SpaceX is developing technology that could eventually lead to a considerable reduction in pollution on Earth. On the other hand, the company's rockets emit many greenhouse gases, and its plans to colonize Mars could significantly impact the planet's climate. So which is it? Is SpaceX good or bad for the environment? The answer, as with most things in life, is complicated. Actually, the answer is a bit of both. Let us take a closer look. They're not exactly tree huggers. Based on our data, it looks like the exhaust fumes from SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets are harmful to humans and the planet we live on. According to recent research, rocket launches are responsible for depleting the ozone layer. Older rockets that use solid fuel, like the Saturn V, produce more ozone depletion. New rockets that use liquid propellants, such as SpaceX's Falcon 9, lose less ozone. In terms of carbon dioxide emissions, Musk still has to find answers. The X-Prize competition was even designed to find a cost-effective way to remove 1 gigaton of carbon from the atmosphere annually by Earth Day 2025. He has announced a $100 million prize for carbon removal. Do you have any concepts for this solution? Do let us know in the comment section. How space travel contributes to climate change. Critics say that the company's actions contribute to climate change and harm the planet. But SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has said that the company is committed to minimizing the impact of activities on the environment. The truth is that a truly environmentally friendly spaceflight is still far away. We will have to wait. And when it comes to climate change, it's not just the little things that add up, it's also the big things. And when it comes to big things, it doesn't get much bigger than SpaceX. Of course, this isn't unique to SpaceX. All rocket companies release greenhouse gases when they launch their rockets. It's not just the fuel burning that contributes to climate change. There's also the manufacturing process, which can produce large amounts of pollution. Of course, these issues won't detract from our sense of excitement and wonder as we look at a great blast-off. They're not exactly fuel efficient. SpaceX is no stranger to environmental controversy. The rocket is reusable, which means that we can save resources by not having to create a new metal body for each launch. But most rockets carry more than 95% of their mass in fuel. They have been known to use highly toxic chemicals in their rocket fuel, harming humans and the environment. Each rocket launch using more energy uses up more of the rocket's fuel supply. Fuel used to power the Falcon Heavy is RP-1 and liquid oxygen, which produces a lot of carbon dioxide when burned. The Falcon 9 rockets carrying kerosene have a combined weight of around 440 tons. The RP-1 has a carbon content of 34%. This amount of carbon is a small part of the total industrial emissions around the world. Still, if SpaceX plans to launch rockets every 2 weeks, this amount of carbon could soon become a more prominent issue. There's an even more significant issue if you haven't subscribed to our channel. Is reusable rockets a solution? To be honest, these reusable rockets, in terms of emissions per ton of payload sent to space, are worse. The Starship can only send a certain amount of weight into play at once because it needs to conserve fuel so it can return. When the SpaceX Falcon 9 is reused, it can send up to 15.5 tons to low Earth orbit. However, if it is not needed to return to Earth, Falcon 9 can lift 22.8 tons. That could probably mean Falcon 9 reusables produce 27% more CO2 than expendables when sending payloads into space. They've got a bit of a problem. Some people are worried about the payload for the car test. The vehicle is scheduled to head toward Mars, but what will happen to it afterwards is not yet known. Space debris is a growing problem that we need to address. More than millions of pieces of space junk need to be tracked to ensure they don't collide with working spacecraft. If there is any impact or degradation of the car near Mars, this could start creating debris. This means that the pollution of another planet has already begun. But they are pushing boundaries. SpaceX is a visionary company that has changed how we think about space travel. But as it continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, some wonder if its actions harm the environment. Nonetheless, SpaceX is still working to clean up its act. The company recently announced they would be using recycled rockets to launch satellites into space, and Musk has said that he wants SpaceX to be the greenest rocket company in the world. So is SpaceX bad for the environment? The answer, unfortunately, is yes. SpaceX operates in an environment with many constraints. It is essential to understand those constraints to evaluate SpaceX's performance. The new commercial space industry is still in its early stages. Yeah, it is still in its infancy. And as the industry grows and matures, we hope companies will find ways to reduce their environmental impact. So it seems like the relationship between SpaceX and the environment is a bit of a love-hate affair. SpaceX is working to be more environmentally friendly, but it still has a long way to go. In the meantime, we can all do our part to reduce our reliance on spaceflight and other high-carbon activities. We can also support companies developing sustainable technologies for the space industry. Let us know your thoughts on this. Comment it all down here. We are damn sure that this satellite is cool, but our next video is deeper than this. So, stay inquisitive. Until then.